Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Jake, and I'm going to be talking about same-sex child custody. In this video, I kind of want to inform you guys about child custody with same-sex couples. But first, I'd like to show you guys a quick video that I found on Jubilee. It's about having a mother-father figure in the household compared to having same-sex parents in the household and how that affects the child. This video aims to show you guys just a little insight on what people think about child custody when it comes to same-sex marriages.
Yeah, I wanted to respond to some earlier points. We've been talking a lot about what is natural, what is order. I'd like to say that there are many, many studies of over 1,500 non-human species of animals that they parent in their species children that are not biologically theirs. I also don't think that reproduction is the end-all be-all of what a family is to be. You're allowed to have your own biblical beliefs. I totally understand that and respect that. What you're talking about with sustainability, I'm not suddenly going to tell all the straight people to suddenly partner up with people of the same sex and no longer reproduce. It's a minority of people that are queer that do want to have children. And I just think that they should be allowed to have children. And I don't think that they are depriving the children of anything, because I think the foundation of what a family should be is to provide a child with love and support and raise them into respectable, upstanding citizens.
All right, let's stop here just for a second. Now, she just said that it doesn't matter whether it's raised by a mother or father or whether the child is raised by a same-sex couple. As long as the child is happy, healthy, in good health, being loved, and is surrounded by people that are going to nourish it and make that child into an upstanding citizen, like she said. When it comes to same-sex child custody, it's important to note that the child needs to be in a safe, loving environment. That may not always be the factor. In the beginning, when it comes to the court and deciding between what parent gets child custody first, it comes down to biological reasons as number one. If one parent is biologically tied to that child, it's most likely going to go to that child, but other factors come into play here. You could be a de facto parent where you've come into the relationship, you're not the biological, but you care for the child all the time. You do most of the work for the child. You are the person in that relationship that is loved and cared for the child. That child looks at you as a parent figure. When it comes to same-sex child custody cases, we're seeing a huge difference in comparison to regular child custody cases with a man and a woman. In regular child custody cases, usually the mother and father are biological parents. That is usually not the case in most same-sex child custody cases. One parent may have been inseminated with the child in the beginning, but the other parent was a third party when they came in, which then causes another issue for the other parent because they've equally raised that child the same amount as the other parent. The court would then need to determine other factors to prove which parent is responsible with that child. This could include psychological factors, nexus factors, and if you don't know what a nexus factor is, it's basically whether or not one of the parents has harmed the child, if that affects their relationship, all that stuff. Or it could definitely be economic factors, economic stability, if the parent is economically stable. Those factors are very similar when it comes to same-sex and regular child custody cases. But it is definitely more difficult for same-sex child custody cases. Now, I think that it's very important that people at Eastern know and are aware of everything that's happening with same-sex couples in comparison to regular child custody cases. Most people don't understand it. We are such a diverse community at Eastern, and with that, I think that we can make a huge change. And change can come from anything. It can be an Instagram post, it could be something to fizz. It could be just having a conversation with your peers about it, or even having a conversation with your professors about it. A small action is anything. A small action is still an action. We need to make sure people understand, because if people don't understand, nothing's ever going to change. And things have been changing recently. In the past couple of decades, there have been legislation that has been passed, but it's still catching up to states. And if we want to make a change in CT, we got to do something about it.